We're here at Canada's scuba circuit, Toronto Motorsport Park, the time attack track of all time attack tracks, to try out Chris's 2015 WRX from Touge Tuning. All right, Chris, so let's start under the hood because rumor has it you're making 400 at the wheel. Why don't you give us the real deal on this?
All right, I'll start off up here. We have a Killer Bee Motorsport aftercooler or top mount intercooler, Killer Bee charge pipe. Those are the two most recent additions to the car, just to help with basically engine temperatures.
Right.
We have in the corner there a IAG air oil separator, just to help with blow-by. Direct injection motors are notorious for having carbon buildup on the valves. Not really seen. There's a EGR delete, again to help combat carbon buildup on the valves.
Right.
You can sort of see here silver spacer there. That's the TGV delete, or the tumbler generator valve delete.
Okay.
Those themselves are worth about 15 wheel horsepower.
Are they really?
Dyno proven. That's from Turning Concepts. And lastly, we have AEM intake, which actually on the dyno didn't make any power, but
really?
It sounds cool.
Man, we tested one on a 2015 out in California. It made some good
snail
jam.
performance.
Yeah. Well, it sounds good if nothing else. So what kind of power are you making then?
We dynoed it 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. Made 279 wheel horsepower on 94. We put in some Shelbourne 100 octane race fuel, about a 50-50 mix with the 94, and it made 300 wheel horsepower.
Okay.
And 350 foot-pounds of torque.
Wow, so torquey motor.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, race fuel's too expensive to run in a street car, so we just run it on 94 every day.
As a wise man should. And so it's a stock turbo.
Stock turbo. It's got a Killer Bee catless J pipe, which is the new downpipe for Subarus because it's underneath the car and it's shaped like a J.
Yep.
Cobb catback system and Cobb access port tuned by On Point Dyno.
Beautiful. Okay. So that covers the power end. Why don't we have a walk around and talk a bit about suspension, brakes, wheels and tires, all that good stuff?
Yeah. So suspension-wise, everything is stock. The only upgrade on suspension is a white line rear sway bar. It's a 22 mil adjustable. It's about 2 mils bigger than the factory one.
Okay.
Brakes, we've got a 332 by 32 millimeter big brake kit on the front, a ST40.
Yep.
Currently running Ferodo DS2500 brake pads.
And I can see you're running Bridgestone RE71Rs.
Yeah, Bridgestone tires for now.
In a 245, it looks like?
245 40 R17 on a 9-inch wide wheel. And the rears, StopTech ST22s, 345 by 28 rotor with Ferodo DS2500 pads as well.
So you were saying earlier it's actually a slightly bigger rear brake than front brake.
Yeah, the rear overall diameter is 13 millimeters bigger actually when you look at the circumference of everything.
And that's actually giving you a good brake bias, good braking balance?
Yeah, I found that the brake balance really became more even when I put the rear on with the same pads. The car brakes a lot flatter, less likely to rotate the rear. Even just in a straight braking zone, it would rotate the rear with just the fronts.
And you're on stock suspension, right? Stock shocks and springs.
Shocks, springs, bushings, everything except that rear sway bar.
And the vinyl wrap and Touge Tuning stickers are worth how much horsepower?
Estimated right now 130 wheel horsepower.
That's what the CSCS guys want to believe anyway. So what about inside, Chris? Is there any changes inside?
Inside, not really. Monster.
Yeah, little.
It's got a Carpway short shifter arm.
Okay.
Just to make the throws a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
And the Cobb access port, and that's about it. Everything else is stock.
Huh. Keep it simple, right?
Keep it simple.
A nice, reliable package.
Yep.
And you compete in this car in
street all-wheel drive in the CSCS Time Attack Series.
And your best lap time around here is
121.3.
121.3. So I've got to beat a 121.3 today, is what you're telling me.
You don't. That make me feel bad. Actually, if you do, it'll be better because then I have something to chase, and that's always good.
Poor WRX has like 450 pounds of dude in here too.
I always drive all my practice laps with people in it. Instant 1 second.
Yeah, I bet it is good for a second. It's amazing what a difference the rear sway bar makes. It really wants to rotate.
The 122.1.
That's damn good with the fat ass passenger here. Might as well take me in. I've seen enough. My stomach has had enough already. Alright guys, just buckling in here, and just to give you a little bit of context, the best lap time I've ever done in a bone stock 2015 WRX around here was like a high 25, 125.8 I think it was. Chris has done a 121.3 around here in this car, which is pretty amazing to me considering it's still on stock suspension. I will try to match his effort if I can. I'm not making any promises because Chris can really hustle this car well, and he set it up, you know, to his preference. So I'm making my excuses now just in case I don't beat him. And if I do, then, you know, it's just all good on me, isn't it? So I can't lose here, people. So I'm going to hold down the traction control button. I'm in track mode. I think that's all I need to do. Let's go find out. All right, so I'm just gonna go out fairly slowly here, get a feel for the car. It's got a short shifter in it, which is kind of throwing me off right now, but I'm sure I'll get used to it in a minute. Man, what a difference a rear sway bar makes in this car. That's the only suspension mod he has, other than some extra camber in the front. He told me he's got 1.7 degrees of negative camber in the front, 0 toe. He's got stock alignment in the rear, and a big rear sway bar, and that's really the only handling secrets going on here, other than, of course, these PFGs, these Bridgestone RE71Rs. Driven in a all-wheel drive car. I've kind of forgotten how to hustle one of these things around. You really have to brake a little earlier, get it turned a little earlier, and then use all that traction that it's got to slingshot you out of the corners. Man, does it ever have traction though. Oh, I'm really struggling with the brake feel. That was a very sloppy lap. That's not going to be very fast. But we'll try one more lap here before we get too hot. How are our temps looking? Looking okay. Better turn in there anyway, but I'm understeering off the line. Second. Nice thing about this stock suspension is you can really ride the curves. down after that lap, but it wasn't too good either, to be honest. But it is what it is. It's a lot of fun to drive. Went down to a 22 flat. I just can't get the car to slow down into turn 1 here. Anyway, let's cool it off, regroup a little bit, give some thought to what we're doing. All right, peeps, last chance for glory here. Putting myself in for one last lap. I did so badly in that first session. I was just braking way too late. Wasn't getting the kind of bite from the brakes as I was expecting. So with that knowledge, I can go out here and try to put in a nice clean lap.
Please put in a 121.
That's right. We got to go faster than 121.3 right now. That's the goal. Anything less would be uncivilized. But I can't make any promises. That's looking elusive, but I think it's there. I just need a good, clean lap. So let's see if I can pull it off. Oh, I got into the bump there. Understeering there. So I got bad news for you, Chris.
Oh God.
What do you want? Do you want the real number?
I want the real number.
You want to know how much is left in the car?
Yes.
There's a big you need to jump in your car.
Nothing.
There's nothing left.
What do you predict my lap time was?
As the car's rolling away.
What do you feel like you're leaving on the table?
3/10.
You were close. It was only 5/10.
Oh my God.
It was only 120.8. That's all it was.
He's going in his car now.
All right, Chris, now that you know the truth, that you're the better man, you got me by a 10th. What's next for your WRX? You have any new mods in store, or?
I ordered a STI transmission swap.
Oh, did you really?
So I think that's the next step for it.
So that gives you a front LSD?
Front and rear and LSD with diff control.
Okay.
So I think that is going to be worth a second and a half if I'm optimistic.
Yep.
I think it'll be huge here in all the tight corners, being able to rotate the car.
Yep.
After that, I don't know, maybe more power.
More power?
We'll see, I don't know. 270 maybe isn't just cutting it. So,
you were saying your main competitor is making like 400-ish at the wheel?
yeah, the front runner guys are anywhere between 320 and 400. There was one guy in round one that I know was making about 480 wheel horsepower.
Wow,
so,
okay.
It was detuned for the event, but it's still well over 4. Yeah, I think that's kind of the next step. I don't want to do too much more to it and turn it into a not street car. It needs to drive every day.
Yeah, this is literally your daily driver, right?
Literally, yeah. Even with the CSCS banner on there.
She's a winter beater and a time attack car. And I got to say, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. The stock suspension works extremely well here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in a hurry to change that. I think for me, I would just want a more aggressive front pad on it.
Yeah.
To get the braking initial bite sort of up.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, I really think it's a great TMP car.
Yeah.
And apparently DDT too, because you actually won at DDT, right?
Yes, I did win DDT by, I believe, 0.8 of a second.
Wow, it's a healthy victory.
Yeah.
I said during my in-car that you won here, but you actually you were second here.
Second, yeah.
Behind that more powerful.
But behind a more powerful car.
It was a GC Impreza?
GC Impreza.
Right. Well, we'll get him next time.
Maybe.
Turn up the boost, bro. Thanks again, Chris. And I guess next time we'll maybe have to test one of these other Touge cars out, eh? Like this little WRX wagon over here looks pretty quick. We have a couple of STIs kicking around. DRZ down there with a supercharger.
S2000 that needs some boost.
Yeah, that's right. Lots more to come, boys. Oh, Chris brought the fancy torque wrench. He takes his tuning serious. He's tuning for the Touge right now, or TMP, one or the other.
Same thing, right?
He's done. We got we got an underwear shot here for the internet. Sweet. Looks like he's got his poker shorts on there. Excellent.